Well, thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. And I'm delighted to announce that the Sunshine Coast Council has struck another hat trick for footy fans to witness NRL action right here on their own patch. What this means is that the Melbourne Storm's last 3 home games of the regular season will be played at their home away from home, right here at our own Sunshine Coast Stadium. And in saying that, it's obviously a tremendous outcome for our region and indeed beyond our region, because people are coming from further afield to enjoy these matches. But I want to acknowledge at this point those faithful Melbourne supporters who are confined to quarters in Melbourne, and recognise that they're making a great sacrifice so we might enjoy having their team here. And I think it really is a great combination we have. So I just wanted to acknowledge all those folks and tell them to keep their chin up, and the better days ahead. We appreciate it's been very tough for the Melbourne Storm and the entire NRL to continue playing through the COVID-19 pandemic. But if you'll pardon the pun, every storm has a silver lining. And for the Storm, that has been a resounding success at their new home ground at the Sunshine Coast Stadium, where they've won every home game they've played thus far. In fact, I don't think you've been beaten since you moved up here, Dave. And we hope the last 3 home games, help create or maintain that surge of success for the Melbourne Storm. The last 3 home games of the season, of the regular season, will be great matches against Manly Warringah Sea Eagles, who themselves were once linked to the Sunshine Coast and our representative team at the time. That match that round 18 match will be on Sunday the 13th of September. That round 16 match will be on Sunday the 30th of August. And then we'll have a real blockbuster with the North Queensland Cowboys. That will be on Sunday the 13th of September in round 18. And then we'll wrap it up in round 19 with a game against the West Tigers on Saturday the 19th of September. Naturally, we're confident the Storm will be on track to secure the 2020 NRL premiership. And when they do, I'm sure the Purple Army from the Sunshine Coast will be cheering them loudly. The Sunshine Coast Stadium COVID safe plan has been reviewed and approved by the Public Health Unit of Queensland Health. So once again, we're able to provide a safe venue for patrons, for players and indeed for officials. The venue layout will be similar to the Storm v Bulldogs match on the 8th of August, with an overlap approved capacity of approximately 4,100, and with individual seating on the eastern and southern hills. Our partnership also includes the Storm promoting the Sunshine Coast throughout the 2021 season, which means we'll see even more tourism benefits flow to the region once our borders are reopened. Hosting the Storm games here at our stadium has really put our region on the map nationally and indeed for an extended period. It's also shone a light on the potential of the Sunshine Coast to eventually be home to its own NRL club. Hosting these games has also clearly demonstrated the need for both the state and federal governments to support council's planned expansion of the stadium, a stadium that in a couple of stages, but in the fullness of time, would be able to seat around 24,000 people. But right now, I'm sure what most people will be asking is, when can I get tickets for the home games? Well, public tickets go on sale from 9 a.m. on Monday the 24th of August for the match against Manly Warringah on Sunday, which is on Sunday the 30th of August. So I encourage fans to get in quick, as tickets obviously will be limited, as everyone understands. All tickets, which will start from $30, can be purchased through Ticketek, and tickets for the round 18 and 19 games will be released on the Monday before each of those home games. I want to make this really important point, because it is something I feel very happy about, and that is that there will be a buying window opportunity which will be available to Melbourne Storm members and for those people who were issued automatic refunds for the Storm Bulldogs match, which I suspect some of them weren't absolutely happy about, but we want to make up the opportunity that they get sort of first dibs, if you like. Those people will be contacted directly by Ticketek. So the Sunshine Coast Council greatly values the partnership we have with the Melbourne Storm, and on behalf of our community I want to thank the club for choosing the Sunshine Coast and being a really reliable and forthright partner, and for choosing the Sunshine Coast as their home base during this pandemic. I want to hand over now to Storm CEO Dave Donner, here to say a few words. Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Mark, and on behalf of everyone at Melbourne Storm, it feels a bit odd actually not shaking your hand after those very kind words, but certainly want to thank, as I said, on behalf of everyone from the club, the warmth, the sincere welcome that all of us have felt having relocated from Melbourne because of COVID-19 to the Sunshine Coast. I think a few years ago, both when we were announcing our relationship with the Sunshine Coast Falcons and then launching the Sunshine Coast Lightning, which we're a majority owner in, we described it at that point as a home away from home, and certainly not just Sunshine Coast but Southeast Queensland, but particularly here it very much is, and everyone feels very much at home here. Certainly our thoughts and our best wishes go to all our members and our fans and everyone in Melbourne. We've got family and friends that are in confronting some really challenging times, and certainly for us, you know, we're thinking of all those people in Melbourne right now that are trying to work their way through a real challenging period for our city. It certainly will always be home, but for us, you know, the important part of our role in the NRL is to keep the competition going, and you know, we know that is to keep playing games here and keep training up here on the Sunshine Coast, which, if you're going to be anywhere outside of Melbourne, why wouldn't you be here? It's a beautiful part of the world, and we're very grateful for the welcome and also the outstanding world-class facilities that we've got. Certainly we've had terrific performances whilst we've been away and on the road, and part of that is the support we've been able to generate up here. My staff reliably tell me we're up to about 2,500 members now on the Sunshine Coast, which is exceptional, it's extraordinary, and again reinforces the support for Storm in a market like the Sunshine Coast, but also the passion that the Sunshine Coast people have for rugby league, NRL in general, and you know, thankfully Melbourne Storm. On behalf of everyone at Storm, Mark, and you know, firstly to you, I've got a little token of our appreciation. It's a match played football, personally signed by Cameron Munster, to you. So thank you for that. And also this for us, it's a signed Melbourne Storm 2020 jersey. You said hopefully it's a successful 2020 jersey, but this is for the people of the Sunshine Coast, for our thanks and our gratitude for everyone being so welcome and warm and taking us in our time of need. So I'll present that to you, Mark, on behalf of our club and for all the people on the Sunshine Coast. So I want to sincerely thank you again for that.
Super. Thanks, Dave, very much. That's great.
So I don't know, Paul, if we want to take questions or...
Yep.
You want to do that? You want Mayor first?
Yeah, the Mayor.
Okay, good.
Mr. Mayor.
Sorry. Paul?
Yeah, we're good.
Mayor, was there ever any doubts that the final 3 home games would be played here? Did you have to compete with anywhere else?
We did. I mean, obviously the Storm is a very popular commodity. They are having a very successful season, and they had other options, and there were other parties that would have liked to have hosted the game. And in some ways, competitively, they could easily have been seen as a better option than us. But I think the fact that 4,100 people, which is our limit, regrettably, at the Sunshine Coast Stadium, mainly supporting the Storm, was very difficult for them to overlook. Compared to perhaps being in another bigger stadium, but with a less enthusiastic crowd spread out all over the place. So I think it's a good outcome for the Storm, a good outcome for our region.
Just on the COVID safe thing there, that 4,100 figure, is that what's going to be carrying on through these next 3 home games? So the one that recently got reviewed, that's the one that's going to be in place for these games as well, or is it being reviewed again?
Well, look, I guess at this stage that's what we're operating on. It's probably unlikely that we'll see any changes to that, but you never know what's around the corner, and COVID-19 has lots of twists and turns, and we'll need to make decisions in light of each match. So certainly for the next game, it will definitely be 4,100, and we anticipate around that number for the future.
And that's been working well from all reports from the stadium staff and everything. How that's been?
Yeah, the stadium staff and the folk from Queensland Health who oversee the COVID safe plan have all been happy. You're learning lessons with these things all the time. And again, I'd make the point to anybody who's going to be there in attendance that every person has a level of responsibility to do the right thing. And whether that's, staying in the seat that they've bought to occupy, or adhering to the social distancing rules, going to the toilet or the canteen or whatever, all those things need to be considered. And if everybody does the right thing and doesn't try and shortcut the system, it'll be fine.
Mayor, I know it's tricky to say, but has anyone been able to put any kind of dollar figure on what having the Melbourne Storm is worth to the local economy?
Well, I think you almost answered your own question there. It is difficult. I mean, it's obviously very positive because we've got we've got games that we'd normally have perhaps 12,000 people attending. We've got to seriously limit that number because of COVID. But we know from the ticket sales that people come from much further afield than just the Sunshine Coast to enjoy the game. And the profiling we're getting, the feedback I've had about the quality of our ground from people watching television, and if you look at some of the other grounds that have been in some ways hammered by the restrictions that exist, our ground's in beautiful shape, and it really is a credit to the stadium staff and the stadium management for making sure that's the case. And there's long-term benefits that flow from this. That when things improve and there's more mobility available to people, they'll be coming to the Sunshine Coast. So it's difficult to put a precise number on it, but I just see it as a very positive work in progress.
And how important is it, you just touched on it there, Mayor, that we are getting more incentives for that drive market to come to the Sunshine Coast? 3 extra games, obviously people will be looking at that, maybe looking at their calendars to see whether they can make it to the Sunshine Coast.
Yeah, well, after last weekend, and people obviously took advantage of the 3-day weekend, and the traffic was horrendous. But it's funny, I mean, I was in the traffic myself on Friday driving back to the coast, and I thought, right, I spent 24 hours going to New York once, so spending 4 hours to get to the Sunshine Coast seems pretty easy. And I think you just got to try and adopt those positive mindsets. But yeah, we'll attract lots of people from around southeast Queensland. I mean, the Storm is very popular, as Dave has just said. The membership here now is up to 2,500. I mean, that speaks volumes for the Storm and the people of the Sunshine Coast, who do love their sport. More than many other centres, really do love their sport and support it in every way they can.
How important was it to get the Cowboys match here, which would have been a double header at some point?
Yeah, I think it's pretty important. The Cowboys are obviously one of 3 Queensland teams, although many people regard the Storm as a semi-Queensland team. But I think that was a good outcome for our team, and I thank the people who were involved in the negotiation of that, our staff working to ensure that we did get that signature match.
Can I just ask Dave a question?
Of course.
How important has having a stable base up here on the Sunshine Coast? Do you think that's part of, is that being reflected back into performance? Can you sort of gauge whether that's, and did that form part of your thinking to having the final games here as well?
Probably the first point around a stable base. I think at any point when there's uncertainty, that's what people want. They want some certainty. So for us, with our we've got 115 players, staff, and family members. I think we've got 15 kids under 2. They want a base where they can position themselves. When you roll that out in terms of performance perspective, the coast has been a terrific base for us, where we've been able to train and play in elite world-class facilities. speaks volumes of the investment that's been made in this area. Not just that, we've been able to build a supporter base which has got behind the teams to give us a competitive advantage. So, certainly there's been some external pressure around, positioning of games and bases, but, I know the guys, appreciate how welcome they feel here, and it's certainly helped, I think, on field as well.
There's big games coming up. Does that then feed into that comfort, that security, that you're dealing with something very familiar now? Does that help going into these final 3 games?
Yeah, well, I think the guys that come out at the pointy end of the season now, 6 regular season games to go, and then finals. I think we're 1 or 2 wins away from confirming a spot there. So, look, it certainly provides us with, as we said, a base for us to position ourselves and hopefully jump off into. Normally it was September, but now October. So there's a number of bigger prizes ahead, but the guys are certainly focused on what they're doing each and every day, and the training facilities at Sunshine Coast Stadium certainly aid that, and then the facilities on a match day are terrific. The field's in great nick. Certainly, as the mayor said. I had many text messages from the first game we had about how terrific the field and the facilities look. So I think that's a great reflection on the region, and when you've got millions of people watching it live on television and across our social platforms, it's a great advertisement for the region.
Dave, what were some of the other options that were vying to host the Melbourne Storm? In your mind, was there any other option?
I look at, it's been quite overwhelming, the support on the way through. If I even go back to the initial part where we weren't able to train at the start of pre-season in Melbourne, I think we had 38 councils line up to want to base our training programs there. So, certainly, there's a couple of big stadiums in southeast Queensland, which we probably don't need to name, that would ideally want additional content, especially at this point where there's been a lack of it. And there's a real cost challenge too across the game. Given some of the challenges of some of the Queensland teams this year from a performance point of view, looks most likely the majority of finals teams will be made from teams in New South Wales. So I think for all Queensland Rugby League fans, it's a great opportunity to hopefully get some football at the back end of the year up here, and we're happy to put a hand up and play a role for that and keep some rugby league in Queensland.
Dave, do you think, I know it's a bit hard to look ahead right now, but future seasons, maybe when things go back to some normality, that you might push to have, say, a fixture a year here on the Sunshine Coast, given that you've now built up such a rapport with the community? Yeah,
we've certainly had initial internal discussions about that, and when you look at the depth of our relationships within the Sunshine Coast, the Falcons and the Lightning, we've got terrific relationships with the region, the community now. So certainly for us, it's not a short-term money grab. For us, it's about a long-term relationship, which is mutually beneficial. And certainly, I suppose through this period, one of the only disappointing thing is that we're not able to really connect and engage with the community. There's nothing better than our players. They genuinely love and enjoy going out to schools and hospital visits and interacting with the community. And unfortunately, with the Apollo protocols, and the guys are over my left shoulder at Twin Waters there. They're required to comply with those and stay within those confines. So we haven't had as much community engagement as we would like, and moving forward, it's certainly we want that to be a focus for us. We'd love to have a long-term relationship. I think there's it's a terrific part of Queensland, terrific part of Australia, terrific part of the world, to be honest, where people should want to come and visit. And we've got over 1 million fans that like and follow Storm. So in future, once we get through this COVID challenge and we can encourage people to move around again, we want to be playing a role to do so, and to show our gratitude around how thankful we are that this area, the Sunshine Coast, came to our aid in our time of need.
Can I just make one quick final summary? Dave hit it on the head. Look, from where we started to the relationship and arrangements we have today with the Melbourne Storm and the Sunshine Coast Lightning, and how that's manifesting itself right at this moment in terms of focus and activity on the Sunshine Coast, whether you're interested in netball or rugby league, not to mention the AFL clubs that are also here. We've perfectly positioned ourselves, and all that effort that goes in the early days, building the relationships and fulfilling the commitments, manifests itself in opportunities that you don't think about at the time. And here we are enjoying that today. And as Dave has just said, the players are making lots of sacrifices to keep the NRL going. And, God forbid what things would have been like if it hadn't kept going. So I thank the Storm again and thank the media for the good job you're doing. All the best. Thank you. On that note, I've got to